What don't help you breaks you. So whatever's not helping you in your life, and of course whatever's not adding towards what's helping you or helping you get through a process or a situation, you need to pretty much look in that perspective, in that totality of why, who, what, when, where, and how. And of course, you need to go pretty much do your 360, analyze things, and see how you can start processing and eliminating and replacing certain energies that can, of course, go into your favor versus what's not helping you. Because whatever's not helping you is pretty much destroying you or stopping you and, of course, holding you back. And you never want to pretty much put yourself into a situation of pretty much being behind the scenes, lost in the currents, or being left behind. When we say left behind, this is teamwork, dreamwork perspectives. So if everyone can pretty much be on a certain according and how they pretty much project things in life, and everyone is pretty much on an attribute in a situation where things is currently going, and you realize and you see from a perspective how things is flowing. You always got to come up with your own dialogue, and of course how you're going to pretty much create the steps and the tools, how you can pretty much get to the top, and how you can correlate things in your life. But it's totality. Whatever's helping you, you keep that in your life. Whatever's not helping you, you have to let something go. And that's when it comes to sacrificial energies. So you have to sacrifice things in life and pretty much to be in a position that you feel comfortable and, of course, feel genuine with being with. Because you never want to put yourself into a situation where you're settling for less and, of course, you're allowing crumbs to pretty much be dictated, of course, grown in your backyard. Because if you're growing crumbs in your backyard never ever going to pretty much be able to fulfill. You got to watch out for the vampires. You got to watch out for the snakes that's going to come into your garden and chew up anything that's lurking. To me, and any means necessary, by any means necessary, you can have captured you or created your one less seed, and that seed can pretty much be going tomorrow. So you always got to pretty much analyze, of course, see how this seed needs to pretty much be covered, be concealed, and of course defend it. Because if you're not defending your principles, and of course if you're not defending your power, you're going to be pretty much overtaken, and of course overtaken by a person, place, or thing in life. And if you allow this, then of course you're a weak individual, and you're just going to pretty much become that. And of course you're going to start carrying the baggage of a weak individual. And of course when you're carrying baggage, by default, that's already strike number one. Because when you put yourself into a situation of carrying baggage, you're already pretty much struggling with a whole lot of situations, of course, a whole lot of weight on your shoulders, of course, a whole lot of weight on your soul, and of course, a whole lot of weight on your body. Then of course you're going to be put into a situation where you're concealed by all this weight, and you're pretty much being brought down when it comes to that weight perspective. So you got to uplift yourself. You got to be light. And of course, when it comes to that light perspective, your heart got to be lighter than a feather. Because when your heart's too heavy and too, of course, too hard and stuff. So that's when it comes down to life. See, life, you never want to pretty much take your life for granted. There's many lives to live. And never get lost into the perspective of one life to live. There's no such thing of one life to live. You have many lives. You have many existences. And life continues. Life goes on. Life don't stop just because a circumstance or situation played out in that perspective. See, individuals and people in life allow their life to stop because they be basically controlled by general concepts of how they should pretty much live their life or dictate their life. You don't live or dictate your life in that perspective. You live your life and dictate your life in your own power, in your own will. And of course, that starts with you. And of course, you got to start to the root cause. You got to get very down there and dirty. And of course, you got to pretty much come up with your own dirt. You got to create your own grass. Of course, you got to work your way up. Feel me? And you want to make sure not a single soul is on that grass, especially if it's not helping you. And of course, if it's not helping you, it's breaking you. So of course, you got to make sure you keep your guard on that damn grass. You get you a dog. Make sure that dog, you train that dog. Just like how you train yourself, you train that dog. You make sure that dog don't allow anything or anyone to pretty much get on your preferences or try to stake or, of course, take from you. Your dog is your weapon. Your dog is your power. Your dog is your mentality. So, of course, you need to utilize your dog. And, of course, when it comes to your kitten, your cat, you want to make sure you have a cat in your house to bring you some form of comfortability, some form of safety, some form of, emotional currents or emotional connections for me. Because you got to, just like the cartoon Cat and Dog, can't have one without the other. Once you know how to bring these two together, everything starts to become balanced in your life. And that's the whole purpose of pretty much having a relationship when it comes to your mental side and, of course, your emotional side. When these two are at war with each other, when these two are battling each other, it's always going to be a circumstance situation where there's going to be some unbalance going on. And, of course, when things is unbalanced, that means your wife and your husband they got to some situations that they need to pretty much start arranging. And when they not arranging things, and of course when everything is chaotic, your kids, the daycare, all them kids, all those energies within inside you, all them cells within inside you start to react and of course respond to them situations. The kids don't gotta pretty much be in this world to pretty much be born in that circumstance situation. These kids are gonna pretty much start rocking the boat. And of course, that arc that you're on, that Noah's arc, I know Ark is gonna pretty much be a circumstance situation where everything is gonna pretty much fall down the drain. Cause of course you got everybody going chaotic. Things is not organized, things is not constructed. So of course whoever's selling the boat, whatever pirate is selling that boat, them pirates gonna start going at war with each other. Everybody's gonna pretty much be in a constant battle. And of course, you never want to put yourself into a constant battle. You want to make sure that the battles that you're going through is self-reflect. Make sure that, of course, whatever you're going through, you can in these situations and circumstances up. This way, you won't pretty much fall a victim. Of course, get too deep into the ocean that your ass might just drown. So you got to come up for a breath of fresh air.